Hello everyone and welcome back to another Universe Sandbox video, and today we're going to be doing another object competition. But before we get into today's competition, guys, we need to go over the results of the previous competition. So looking at the results here, it looks like Siren took the win with 8 votes, and he had a massive lead in this one, so yeah, congrats to him. So he won with his Valentine's gas giant here. So yeah, there it is, had that cool dark spot sort of effect on it, and it also had that ring object, if you remember that as well. So that was really, really cool. So yeah, he took the win with 8 votes, and then the runner-up was Pluto Neon with his planet. So I believe that was this object here. So it was the ice cream planet, I think he called it. So yeah, he came second with 4 votes. So yeah, massive congrats to Siren though. So that's his 3rd win in object competitions now. So yeah, nice job to him. But with that all said and done, guys, let's get on to today's competition. Okay guys, on to today's competition now, and as you've seen by the title, we're doing a anything goes competition. So you can literally send in any object, anything you want, and we're going to see which object comes out on top. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. So if we open up the menu, we'll search up competition here. Okay, so here they are, there's the full lineups. I think we've got 9 objects here today, which is awesome. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. I believe some of these also had a lot of descriptions. We got a bit of reading today as well, because we do like our reading. So, right, first object here, we've got Astronomy Geeks one. So let's go ahead and place this in. So this one's called Nature's Return. I find the backstory behind this one pretty cool. So here it is. So as you can see, first glimpses, it looks like a very, very polluted sort of Earth. So yeah, I've already read the backstory for this one. I read it when he uploaded it, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. So here it is. Right, so this one's got some history for you as well. So in 1948, the USSR blockades West Berlin. So that was with the Berlin Wall near the start of the Cold War. So this causes rising tensions between the USA and the USSR. The USA sends cargo planes to West Berlin to bypass the blockade. One plane would fly, of course. The Soviets would think the plane was for military use, and they shoot it down. So in July, NATO declares war on the USSR. So we're seeing a sort of different scenario in history here, like if the Cold War actually did start into a World War III. So the Warsaw Pact declares war on NATO to support the USSR. The world will continue until 1951, where the Soviets send nuclear missiles to Cuba. So if anyone knows about Cuba in those times, the Cuban Missile Crisis was the closest point in reality to a World War III possible breakout. So it looks like he's made his object around the scenario if World War III did start during the Cuban Missile Crisis, where the USSR, they had some missiles stored on Cuba, and obviously Cuba is closer to the USA, so obviously that upset them, because missiles, you wouldn't want them there. So that's what happens there. So the USA sees this as a threat and launches their nuclear missiles in Turkey. This causes a nuclear war which no one would win. So yeah, I like the scenario here. This is quite interesting. So after 3 months, 90% of all Earth life dies. So you can already see how this Earth has sort of come to be. 80% of plant life and all of humanity. Humanity is now extinct. Oh, right. Okay, so, but the radiation still covers the Earth. All of the ash covers the Earth in one giant cloud. Fungus and plant remain in deep caves. The ash heats up the Earth, and sea levels rise and radiation would decay. After a few million years, fungi and plants grow on the surface. The rise of oxygen causes the oceans to turn red, plants become purple, and the fungi move to the ocean. The remnants of humanity have now been sunk to the ocean. Okay, so that is our Earth. So this is like a leftover after a World War III that no one survived. So check it out. So this is a possible scenario if the Cuban Missile Crisis did cause a World War III, and this is the outcome of the Earth thousands of years later. I think it said millions of years, a few million years later. So this is the outcome a few million years later. So yeah, look at the state of that. I mean, you can see obviously a lot of Brazil's all flooded up here. A lot of the USA is completely gone. It looks like the California sort of area is still going there. Central America means a few bits and bobs left down there as well. If we look into the Europe and Africa area, we can see basically all of Northern Africa's gone. Looking into Europe, I mean, I can't recognise any countries there. France, Spain, Portugal, Germany, that's all gone. If we look up in the north as well, it looks like the entire, pretty much all of Europe and the Russian part of Europe are all, yeah. I mean, you can see, yeah, that's all gone. So pretty crazy. You can see remnants of the Himalayas where China is, the higher land elevations. But yeah, you can see, okay, so that is a little part of Spain and a little bits of France and some of the other countries there sticking out above the ocean line. You see Iceland and Greenland are still fairly intact. Australia, fairly intact as well. New Zealand down there. Even Antarctica's been affected by this. But yeah, overall, the whole Earth is in a right state. I mean, what we got over here? Japan. Yeah, there's Japan, okay. But yeah, overall, I mean, not much Earth left after this Cuban Missile Crisis fate for the Earth. So yeah, there is his object. So this was Astronomy Geek. So yeah, very, very cool backstory to it. I mean, I do like a bit of like the historic sort of background to it as well. I think that is pretty cool. So yeah, there is the futuristic Earth, nature's return. So after a World War III sort of apocalypse. So right, there is that one. Okay. Next up, we have got an object from Core here. So this is called Rondel. So let's go ahead and place this in here. Okay, so there's no backstory for it. It's a dark gas dwarf, no other info. So check it out. I'm liking it. I do like the gas dwarfs. Ever since we did that first competition on gas dwarfs, really, really like the concept. Really, really like the idea. So there it is. So very, very dark underneath. It almost reminds me of Trace 2B, but like a gas dwarf version. So yeah, there it is there. Nice red atmosphere, sort of like dark red clouds on top of it as well. Really, really liking the way that has been put together. So yeah, there is Stuckin's object there. Or not Stuckin, sorry. I'm getting mixed up with everyone now because we've got a lot of people today, as you can see. So yeah, that was Core's object, sorry. So, right, next up we have got Siren's object here. So let's go ahead and place this one in here. So he was the winner of the previous competition, so 3-time winner now. So, right, here is his object. Okay, so it's a large Earth-like world covered in craters and a rough surface. We'll have to have a look underneath here. So there it is, okay. Most of the creatures that thrive on this world are amphibian-like and flying beasts that eat whatever they can find. The surface of this world used to be covered in an ice only for a few 100,000 years. These marks can still be visible on the surface of this world as large canyons, hills and mountains. This world also houses extreme temperatures. The poles can get to minus 92 degrees in the winter season and minus 59 in the hot season. And the deserts around the equator and the south of this world can get up to 77 degrees Celsius, meaning it's almost no plant life and creatures live there. Planet aerial map view looks the best. Okay, aerial map view. Wait, is that on the surface stuff? Is it one of these? Isn't it? Ah, there you go. Check that out. So using the aerial view. Look at that. That is pretty cool. So that's a full map of the whole object. That is pretty cool. So if we just have a look at it, just have a little rotate around. So yeah, look at that. I like it. Got the craters, got the poles. All done there. Like the backstory behind it as well. That is pretty cool. And yeah, the map. Look at that. That does look really, really awesome. So there it is. And obviously the clouds and an atmosphere back on it. So that's what's hidden underneath all of that atmosphere there. So yeah, really cool. We'll leave that picture up for the time being. So right, next up we have got the Munich object. So let's scroll down to his. Okay, so he's got a massive stuff for us to read as well. So here it is here. So another rocky planet. Okay. Right. So here is this object. So its name is Nilahar. I hope I'm saying that right. Okay, so a big, hazy and mysterious Earth-like planet with life. Located roughly, I think that's 500,000 light years from Earth, or it's 5 million away from Earth, in a very faint, almost invisible, small old galaxy in the middle of nowhere. The planet's name, Nilahar, is a combination of two Sanskrit words meaning blue water vapor and green. Because of its bright jungles that cover 90% of the planet's land, and blue water vapor because of its very dense, foggy and extremely humid atmosphere, which gives it a very unusual appearance. So we can see it is quite cloudy, quite hard to see down to the surface. The planet orbits a sun-like star that's just 1.5% less massive than our sun, but also much older with an age of around 6.4 billion years. Interestingly enough, those 6.4 billion years weren't enough for the planet to develop intelligent life. However, it seems like a weird, somewhat intelligent species of mammal-like creatures is just entering an early tribal phase, which could mean an intelligent civilization will finally emerge in a couple million years or so. But it also might not. Only the future will tell. So, here's his objects. If we look underneath, there it is. Okay, so it's a very, very ocean-heavy world. I mean, look at that. Is that correct? I mean, maybe it's got too much water on it. Let's just lower it a bit. Okay, so there's a Bella view, I want to say. So, let's see here. Small blue water vapor and green. So, yeah, that's roughly what it looks like. So I think the water is supposed to be on it, but I mean, there's a view of it with and without the water. So, yeah, there's a bit of water with it. Obviously, it looked like that originally, but yeah, I'm guessing it may be slightly intended to have a little less water. So, yeah, there's a good look of it. So, it's got the constants. We'll have a little peek on the. Can we go to the? How do we do? surface? Is it? How do we view the aerial? I want to look at the aerial thing again. Right, no, never mind. Honestly, I cannot remember how you do it, so we're just going to click this button as well. So there's the aerial map of that when we've added the water. Look at that. That's cool. Hey. So I'm sure if we change the water levels, it probably would. Yes, so you can see without any water and then with water, it would look like that. But also if we have it in the nice sweet spot in between, it has all of its constants sort of showing up as well, which is pretty cool. So there it is. I like how we can't even get the water to... Oi. Can we get how we had it before, please? Come on. Oh, that's weird. We had it a minute ago where it had a little bit of water and a little bit of land. Oh, that's weird. But you saw it, and it's how it's supposed to look. So can we get any more luck? Come on, just clicking it nice and easy. No. Ah, that's really annoying. Look at that. It's really annoying when the water does that. Yeah, water is still quite a pesky little feature. You just have to be very careful with it. Even if you just click it a little too much, it just does. Yeah, that is very, very pesky, isn't it? So. Yeah, there it is. But yeah, we saw the world how it was supposed to look. So yeah, there's all of its stuff re-added to it. So we'll go ahead and close those guys down now. So yeah, there is the Moonix world, right? So yeah, very, very hazy, like he said. Right, next up we have got Gigaman's object. So this is GM Croc over here. Whoa, wow, look at this. Right, he didn't leave any description. So yeah, here is his world. So as we can see, looking very interesting behind. As we can see, loads and loads of little pockets of water and land all mixed in there, like a giant archipelago of stuff. That does look really cool, actually, so... Yeah, there's it. Well, it looks like underneath. Look at that. Let's try the map thing for that. Yeah, look at that. That does look really crazy, so... Yeah, what do you think of that? That is very, very cool, so... Right, there it is. Alright, moving on next. We have got Nick118. It looks like they've sent a all-red gas giant in, so let's go ahead and place that behind. So there it is. So, I mean... that's literally all it is. So an all red gas giant. So I mean we'll make it a little smaller just so it fits in with the other objects. So one Earth, and yeah, it's just a I think it's all one color, isn't it? So there's a few mixes of red in there, but yeah, it's mostly appears completely all the same there. So yeah, there is his object. Next up we've got Pluto Neon's object. So let's go ahead and place that in here. Okay, so this one looks rather interesting. Hey, right. So let's go ahead and have a peek here. Right. So let's see what he said. Okay. If the planet becomes too flooded or drained upon spawning, try spawning it again multiple times until the water level is fair. Okay, we'll have to try that with the object back there as well. So we'll spawn just a couple in just to see if it works. So yeah, because yeah, some of them spawn in correctly, some of them don't. So it looks like the original one is broken, but the other ones all look fine. So I'm guessing this is how it's supposed to look then. So here it is. Let's have a little peek underneath. Okay, there we go. All right. Looking interesting indeed. Alrighty. So I think there's a few... so whereabouts is the water? Can we see where the water is? So the water is a very dark shade. Okay. Interesting. Ah, okay. There you go. So that does look quite cool, doesn't it? Alright, so it has very, very dark oceans. Let's just spawn in a few more in just to make sure it's all correct. Or maybe this one over here is how it's supposed to look. I mean, I'm not sure. He said the water level is fair, so... Well, does this one even have water? I mean, I don't know. Let's try and add more in. See, it's weird how the game spawns them in differently if you spawn them in more than once. I mean, that is very bizarre, isn't it? So, let's try a few more times. But yeah, I'm guessing this just seems to be the one we're getting the most when we're spawning them. So I'm guessing it's supposed to look somewhat like this. So, right, let's see what he has said about this object. So, try spawning again multiple times until the water level is fair. The water should only submerge the red parts. Okay, I mean, it looks like it has submerged most of the red. So, I mean, there's a few little bits still sticking out. But, I mean, that seems to be mostly correct. So, okay, looking good. Okay, this object is a distant jungle world with water or dark waters resembling wine. Okay, so that's obviously the dark colour. Okay, that's cool. Reflecting the wine-covered sky above. The soil is dark indigo and the... Faunia is I think that's how you say that, is a bright yellow-green. Grape vineyards can be found all over the world, climbing the tallest trees the planet has to offer. It is named after the Roman god of wine and madness. Okay, nice. I used the asteroid Bassus. Yeah, however you say that. So he used the asteroid with that name as a template to terraform it. So yeah, there it is. So yeah, I like it. But yeah, just before we move on, let's go back to this object quickly. I want to see... So this was the Moonix one. I want to see if we spawn it in a couple of times. Does it look any different when we remove the clouds or not? Just to see if we... So I want to try and get how it's supposed to look. So, okay, that one's like that. Okay, so this one, that one, it looks different there. I mean, that is really bizarre how the game decides to do that. I mean, yeah, that one hasn't got any water. I mean, that is so bizarre, isn't it? And then if we look underneath that one, how bizarre is that? So every time you spawn in it, it looks different if you spawn it in more than once. I mean, that is just... Universe Sandbox, you need to fix that. That is really, really weird. So let's just try and add the water to it. So let's see if that... Does that do anything? Oh, that is really strange. Look how much water do you need to add? I mean, that is just so bizarre. So let's just try it again. Okay, so I'm assuming it's meant to look something like this. So just going back to it. So this was Demonic. So this was the bright and hazy object. And yeah, the object with the blue water vapor and green and all the foggy and stuff like that. So yeah, I already said the description. But yeah, I'm guessing it's supposed to look something like that. So yeah, apologies if it doesn't, but we did give it a shot there. So right, and let's get its atmosphere back on. So yeah, I'm guessing it's going to look like that. Right, so yeah, interesting though, you have to spawn it in more than once. I mean, let's try it with Gigaman's as well, see if we get any different results with his. So, oh no, okay, so there we go. So we can see with Gigaman's as well. They look different if you spawn it in more than once. I mean, that is just... I mean, how crazy is that? I mean, why do you have to do that? I mean, that is crazy. So, yeah, there we go. But judging by the picture, I think it is supposed to look like that. So, right, let's move on properly now. So, next up, we have got... okay, so we've got a stuck in 2D's object here. So this is a gas giant. So let's go ahead and spawn it in. So Gliese 504b. Okay, so here it is. So as we can see, got some similarities with Jupiter with the sort of style of bands. I think that's based off, that is a real object as well. So Gliese 504b. Looking very good. I mean, yeah, very similar to Jupiter. Very nice mix of bands. I'm not even going to bother opening the menu because it'll probably just give us a load of lag. So, yeah. Looking good though, I mean, I'm liking it. And a very nice mix of bands, nice realistic design, obviously based off the Jupiter, got all the gas giant colours in there. Looking good, I'm liking it. But actually what I will do is I'm going to have to open the menu just so we can make it smaller. Oh, but there's all the bands actually, so we can see. At least it doesn't completely freeze us. It's got quite a lot of bands going for it. But yeah, let's just go ahead and quickly make it 1 Earth in size, just to make it easy. So there we go, just go ahead and move it over there to the rest of the objects. So yeah, real sweet gas giant there. Right, and then, did he leave any... Okay, so no, he didn't leave any description. He had a rough day of Universe Sandbox, but yeah, at least it's made it. So yeah, nice stuff. Looking good. Right, and then lastly, we have got an object from Mad Planet Guy. Been a while since we've seen one from him. And he has sent his Minecraft world from one of his old simulations. So here it is. It is the cube object we've seen before with a blue sort of tint on it. Obviously, it's based on the dice, and it's got a Venus texture, tinted blue on it. So there it is there, looking very, very crazy indeed. So let's just make it one size. So, yeah, a literal cube. I mean, remember, the object is anything goes, so you can literally post anything you want in this game, any object file. So there it is there. Right, so going through all the objects once more. So let's start with the very beginning. So firstly, we had Nature's Return. That was from Astronomy Geek. So yeah, the result of the Cuban Missile Crisis if it did cause a World War III. So there is his object there. Next up we had Rondel. So this was Core's objects. It was a dark gas dwarf, looking very nice indeed there. Then next up we had a Nebulous here. So this was... whose one was this? This was... yeah, this was Siren's object here. So if we looked underneath, this was the one with those creatures on it. So if we just look underneath... So it had the cool little map layout as well. I really like the map layout on this one. I mean, if we just have a look at it again. So there it is there. I think that is really cool, the way it's looking on the map mode there. So the aerial view. Very nice indeed there. So let's go ahead and add all that back on. Right, then we had this object here. So this was the Moonix world here. So yeah, the bright, hazy and mysterious Earth-like planet with life. So yeah, this was cool. I really liked yeah, it had the jungles, the planet lands, and yeah, he had the yeah, the planet's name Nilahar is a combination of two Sanskrit words. I hope I'm saying that right. Apologies if I am not. So yeah, the name means blue water vapor and green. So obviously that's the sort of colours it's got going for it there. So yeah, looking good. So yeah, there it is there. And yeah, also if we looked underneath, we did have to play around with a bit, but I'm assuming it's meant to look something like that. So yeah, apologies if it doesn't, but yeah, I think it looks good nonetheless. So there we go. Then we had Gigaman's object, so it was the one with all the little patches of water and islands all mixed in there. So that was GM Croc over here, and it's also like lit glowing behind as well, which is really cool. So there's his one. Then we had the all red, like maroon sort of red gas giant here from Nick 118. So there it is. I mean, pretty self-explanatory, all red right there. Then we had this object from Pluto Neon here. This one was a cool one. So yeah, Bashus. Hope I'm saying that one right. So this was one with like the red wine sort of coloured oceans on it. I mean, it does look really, really cool. Let's have a little aerial view on this one as well. So let's see what it looks like. So looking at it, look at that. That does look really mysterious, doesn't it? Hey. So obviously if we look underneath quickly as well. So there it is. So yeah, very, very dark and mysterious there. Looking good. Alrighty, and then lastly, we had the last two over here. So this was stuck in 2D's Gliese 504B here. With the good old, with sort of matching Jupiter sort of band layout, all nicely blended together, looking good. And then yeah, lastly we had Mad Planet Guys Minecraft world, which is the dice with the blue tint and then the Venus texture underneath. So there we go, guys. That does it for today's object competition. So this is possibly the last one for a while, the end of the season 2 of object competition. So I hope you've enjoyed all the competition videos we've done, as I certainly have, reading all of the descriptions and backstories. I really, really enjoy it. So yeah, massive thank you to everyone who has participated in this series, or season, I should say, season of object competitions. Really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, let's just get them all lined up together now. So there we go. So the full lineup there. Look at the cube. It's crazy. But yeah, there we go. So obviously, if you would like to vote for anyone in this video, make sure to join my Discord, link in the description, and you can vote for who you want to come out on top. And yeah, good luck to everyone, and a massive thank you to everyone, as we've got 9 objects in today, so a huge thank you for that. And yeah, if that all said and done, good luck to everyone in the competition with the votes. I'll announce the winners in a special video, because obviously this is the last competition for a while, so I'll just make a quick like 2-minute video just announcing the winner for it. And yeah, with that all said and done, guys, make sure you guys all have a great day, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.